In this video, I'd like to speak about the biblical account of the creation of light, what the Bible considers light, and what actually light is, and what science considered to be light. The biblical account of the creation of light demonstrates the total ignorance of the person or persons who wrote that account. Moreover, it demonstrates the total odium, the total hatred, the total intolerance of the Bible and of Christianity towards science. The Bible and Christianity, they hate science to their guts. Now let's go real quick to the biblical account of the creation of light, and we'll see what the Bible has to say about the light, when and how it was created. That's in the book of Genesis. It says, that's Genesis 1 and 2. In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth was formless. Formless in what sense? As opposed to what now it's a square or a cube, and then it was what? And empty. Empty in what sense? Inside was empty? It's absolutely nonsensical. And then darkness covered the deep waters. Now, let me point out that darkness is just lack of light. I repeat again, darkness is lack of light. And so we can rephrase this verse as the earth was formless and empty, whatever they mean by formless and empty. And then the lack of light covered the deep waters. So the lack of light covers the deep waters of the earth, which was empty. I repeat, the earth was empty with water. And then God said, "Let there be light." And there was light. So God created at this moment of time light. Now, the first question or issue that comes to mind is that since God was called and is called in the Bible light eternal, eternal light, etc., and that God lives always surrounded by light, etc., how come that logically that means that until this moment God was darkness and there was no light in him, and before that, going all the way back to infinity, he was only darkness. And then at this very moment in time, he decides to create the light, and he creates the light. And then God saw that the light was good, and he separated the light from the darkness. In other words, God saw that the light was good as opposed to darkness, which is bad. Remember that in the olden times, the ancient people, due to their ignorance and due to their inability, which is understandable because there was not much science at that time, they used to view things as good and bad, or good and evil, black and white. And so that's how they projected their views, writing the Bible, saying that God saw the light was good and darkness was bad, and that he separated the light from darkness. God called the light day and the darkness night. Evening passed and morning came, marking the first day. Now, What is light in reality? In fact, what does science have to say about light? Put simply, light is a form of electromagnetic radiation that can be detected by the human eye, but this is only the visible spectrum of light. So the issue that comes with the biblical account of light is that the people of the ancient times that wrote the Bible, they only considered light in terms of the visible spectrum of the light, which is a very small portion of the entire spectrum of what is considered to be light. Due to their ignorance, I repeat again. Light is composed of tiny particles called photons, which have both wave-like and particle-like properties. Light occurs over an extremely wide range of wavelengths, from gamma rays with wavelengths less than about 1 times 10 to the minus 11th meter to radio waves measured in meters. In other words, from very, 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 very tiny small wavelengths, which are undetectable by human eye, only with microscopes, to wavelengths in meters or yards. Within that broad spectrum, the wavelengths visible to humans occupy a very narrow band from about 700 nanometers, that is billionths of a meter, for red light, down to about 400 nanometers for violet light. The spectral regions adjacent to the visible band are often referred to as light also, infrared at the one end and ultraviolet at the other. The speed of light in vacuum is a fundamental physical constant, the currently accepted value, which is about 300 million meters per second, or 300,000 kilometers per second, or 186,000 miles per second. In physics, the term light refers more broadly to electromagnetic radiation of any wavelength, whether visible or not. In this sense, gamma rays, X-rays, microwaves, and radio waves are also considered light. So now, we go back to the biblical account of creation. It is not possible, even when the visible, let's say it's night, and then men don't see the visible spectrum of light, but the Earth, our planet, is still bombarded, so to speak, by all kinds of gamma rays, microwaves, cosmic rays, alpha, beta, gamma rays, etc., etc., etc. Light does not stop. Light does not stop. And again, I want to point out, this biblical account of the creation of light is extremely ignorant, extremely stupid, extremely dumb. And this demonstrates the lack of knowledge of the people who wrote about it. And this also demonstrates that the biblical God did not have any idea of what light is. And this is not only a conclusion, this is axiomatic. When you read the Bible and when you read what the so-called God's word has to say about light, you inevitably, not only, it's not, I can't say come to the conclusion, it's evident, it's mega evident that the biblical God, who they say dictated his word to the scribes who wrote, and the prophets, whoever wrote the Bible, he did not have any idea of what light is. And again, Christianity, the Bible, they hate science. They totally and absolutely detest science. The Bible overflows with hatred towards science. The Bible overflows with so many contradictions, so many stupidities, so much ignorance that it is contraindicated or counterindicated to read the Bible if you really want to learn something about our reality and about our life and about the nature that surrounds us. And so the other issue that I touched upon and that I plan to make a separate video about is how is it that since God comes from the infinite past, since he has existed from infinity and will continue to exist in the future infinity, how is it that he, being light only, at a certain point in the time of infinity decided to create light? This is logically impossible, and that means that before he created light, he was darkness. He was surrounded only by darkness. Now, I also want to touch upon the fact that not only light may, and is not always good, and darkness may, and is not always bad, but the thing is that in a lot of cases, light can be very bad. And I can give examples. For example, light can disrupt sleep. Exposure to light during nighttime can interfere with your sleep cycle, leading to issues like insomnia. Overexposure to ultraviolet light from the sun, for example, can lead to skin damage, increase of the risk of skin cancer. The photophobia in certain medical conditions like migraines or eye injuries, light can cause discomfort or pain, condition known as photophobia. Light pollution in urban areas, excessive artificial light can obscure the night sky, disrupting ecosystems and spoiling the views of stars. Also, light coming from fire can cause a lot of damage and has caused lots and lots of damages throughout the ages. When darkness can be a good thing, restful sleep, darkness signals to our bodies that it's time to rest. It helps in the production of melatonin, a hormone that regulates sleep. In astronomy, darkness is essential for observing celestial bodies. Many astronomical observatories are located in remote areas to avoid light pollution. Energy conservation, reducing unnecessary lighting can save energy, reducing both costs and environmental impact. Wildlife protection. Many animals are nocturnal animals and rely on darkness for their activities and survival. Preserving dark habitats can help protect these species. And these are just sample examples that I gave you. Now I gave you some food for thought. Let me know what you think about it. Thank you for watching.